Alright, hello, and welcome back to the second session of the Minecraft Let's Play. I have a number of changes to go over with you guys before we actually start playing. First, I changed these floors to stone because I got tired of pigs and other animals spawning here. Animals randomly populate the world on every grass tile, every single time it changes from night to day. Also, I renamed this signpost Rome. And as you can see, I removed some of the walls here and hung up a pair of chandeliers to illuminate. There's a new painting right here. Also, I sort of sealed off this little shaft. This is where I went looking for a cave. But I didn't find one. So that's there. And then here we have a little ladder. But we'll get to that later. The other sort of cool thing that I did was this glass overpass here. I showed it to you last time around. And nothing much has changed around here. I fought a couple creepers, so as you can see there's some holes. More importantly though, I've removed the leaves from all of these trees. Just the leaves. I've left the trunk intact. From now on this area is known as the Dead Woods. Dead Wood. Anyways. Moving right along. It's a secondary passage back into the bunker. Then we can go back down to here. We can also explore this little room right here. I just built this to have a chest, a couple stoves, crafting table, just in case I needed one. And yeah, so that's that. Now, if we keep going down the hallway, I built in a utility room right here. Same sort of setup. A large chest, two little stoves, and a crafting table. And now here, a ladder goes up. And this ladder leads to the glass overpass. So everything is connected. Now the other thing that I did was I kept going with this passage, and I hung a picture right here to show that there's a split in the road. There's half of it that goes down, and there's half of it that goes up and then widens out. Alright. So, before we get into any of that, I want to show you this cool little thing right here. This is my indoor farm. I have a couple tiles of water. And what this water does is it allows the land around it to get rich. It turns into this dark brown when it's rich. And you can plant seeds on it. And you left click to harvest with the hoe. And if you needed to till any of the land again, you would right click. Now when the plants get these brown tips, that means they're ready to harvest and they give you wheat. And if you harvest one of these with the green tips, it will only give you seeds. However, the game's really buggy with the crops and stuff, so sometimes it'll look like they're not ready to be harvested, but they are, and they'll still drop wheat. Sometimes it'll take you harvesting one of them before all the crops in the room will change over to this color. But generally, with this torchlight being here, it's like a 24/7 sun. It doesn't take my crops that long to grow to completeness. So yeah, there's that. Just go through and harvest them. And we get all of this wheat. Now, the reason we have a pathway is because you see what happens when you walk on it is it turns back into an earth tile. And then you right-click it with the hoe, and that turns it into a tile where you can plant again. Now, these are seeds. You plant them by right-clicking, and they will grow you more wheat. You might have noticed that every wheat plant drops 2 of these. So basically you're doubling the amount of seed that you have with every harvest. And the plants only drop a single wheat. So basically this right here is my underground farm. The other thing is, you see that one just turned rich. For them to turn rich they have to be within 4 tiles of water. So that is why I have water set up in these little pools here. So there. I have planted all of the plants. And actually this leads us right along into our next room. which is all the way down here. I've stopped tunneling, and I made this room. This is my storage room. First, we are going to deposit our seeds, take our leftover wheat, and deposit some of these saplings. So you can see I got a lot of saplings from clearing those leaves. Now what we're going to do with the wheat is we are going to break it up into these sort of stacks so we can make bread out of it. And bread is a food that restores 2.5 hearts per use. So that puts it pretty much on level with pork. But it's, as you can see, renewable even underground. So I don't actually have to risk anything in getting this bread, and it is effective, very, very effective at restoring life. So yeah, I'll just keep 2 bread with me just in case. And yeah, here I have my earth blocks. Here I have stone blocks. Speaking of which, stone blocks. Alright, and then here I have my earth blocks. And then let's put our gravel over here as well. So yeah, there we are. And this is our bread box. Over there's our seed bank, and here's our craftable items. I think I have some, yep, there we are. I have some more iron left over. So now I have 17. I'm just stockpiling it. I haven't really needed it for anything thus far. And another thing I want to show you before we go to the second branch of the ladder is a little something outside. I have built a well out here, and this has infinite water. No matter how many buckets of water I take out of it, it will always replenish itself. And the way you do that is you take a 2x2 area and you drop a bucket into each corner, into opposite corners, I mean. So I would drop one into this corner and this corner. And the reason I have wood over it is so nothing walks into it. So let's just take some water and mess around with water physics. See, water goes downhill if you give it the option. To pick water up, you have to right-click the source block, and then all of it disappears. So we can just leave this flow in here, as you can see, and that flows into here, which is another. This is another source block that I put down here. So yeah, there we are. And water slowly recedes after you take away its source block. And as you can see, each time it expands, there's less water. So the first one's flat, the second one's less so. And water also has flow down. So if I'm in water and I don't move, the water will carry me with the current in a downwards direction. And if there is no down, it follows the southwest rule, which is it will be going south, I think. No. It goes away from the source block then. Yeah, it just goes away from the source block, so if I were to pop it down here, it'd go there. And then here I just had a little block of water where I experimented with irrigation and stuff. So yeah, that's the water physics in this game. There's also a number of other fun things that I want to show you guys before we actually started playing. And let's see, we have another sign here for directions. And we'll just go up here. And go up this ladder. And this brings us into the second of our bunkers. There's our first one. We can see it from here. And this right here is the second bunker, where we have a good view of the dead woods. And look, right there's a creeper. And over there we see there's a cow right next to the foundation for something. We'll get to that later. So now we can just go down this ladder, and here is a door that leads us right outside underneath the bunker. Now if we don't want to go up into the bunker, we can actually shortcut back down into this area. And this place I've called the pit stop. Because it's a sort of miniature hub here, with a tunnel that way, that way, that way, and up. So let's go down. So now we have gotten to this little room, which I call claustrophobia. It's a little 3x3 nexus with only one small chest, crafting square, a stove, and just a block of wood there to make it more claustrophobic. Now as we head along this tunnel, this I like to call the gallery. It just has a bunch of paintings, and you can see how each and every one of them is different. And then right here, I actually got this badass painting, so I made a room for it specifically. And there you have it. And then we have 2 extra paintings. So this right here is just like the gallery room. And then right here is another sign that says to tower. And if you guys remember that foundation that we saw earlier, well, we are now inside of it. And we can go on.